I just wouldn't have thought about that at 20 and 30. And maybe it was me, or maybe it was the time I grew up in, or maybe it was where I grew up. The collective we and my generation of the people around me weren't as in touch with their elders.
Yeah.
We were all single-mindedly focused on, something. It's a different perspective now for me, where I go, oh. That's why I was drawn to what you're doing here, because you're talking to people, but truthfully, in this world, we're all so busy running. I was in Iceland this past summer. I had a young girl lives in the middle of nowhere. Did you ever fly in an airplane and look down out of that airplane? You see that one lone house in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
We do that in America oftentimes, going coast to coast. And you often wonder, A, how does that guy get milk? Does he get cable TV? And what does he do? What does he do? So I was in that remote place in Iceland. And they told me how they're intertwined and they figure it out and how to fix stuff and who's going for milk on that week and Oh, okay. And she says, and where do you live? I said, well, I lived in New York and now I live out in New Jersey. And I says, I have to tell you, I never once met my neighbor. The wall is the only thing that separated us in the next apartment. And I saw a look of sadness come over her face muscles. And I could tell she was sad.
Yeah.
Because I could tell that she felt this connection in that village with those people, that she felt bad for me because I didn't get to touch that.
Yeah.
And it made a real impression. I didn't have to ask her to follow up. I knew what she was feeling for me. And it's true, we run. Look there's 1,000 people around us.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know each other. Crazy.
It's such a good point. Like, earlier this year, I walked across England. I made tea for people as I was walking across England.
Beautiful.
And I sat on a bench and there was no one around me, and then a guy on a bicycle cycles past and stops, and we end up having a chat for 30 minutes. In that moment, I realized that sometimes you can have people who you're close to in your life, like people who are close to your family and stuff, but it's those who are like in proximity. We sometimes aren't aware of those who are closest to us actually in that moment.
That too.
And cherishing that moment, because it's so important.
We're all codependent, if you like it or not. The guy on the other side of the apartment wall I never met is still breathing the same air, and he needs the same plug outlet to work. But so we've lost that connectivity. And I think that girl in Iceland knew of a great big secret. That's heartbreaking stuff.
There are so many similarities between all of us.
All of us.
How have you found this tea?
Tea, it's a very important part of